interesting debate. And if we remove the health factor, if we focus on how it will affect government revenue, how it will affect the sale of manufacturers in absolute numbers, then of course the revenue as far as farmers is concerned. Like in my case, I don't smoke, I rarely drink. Health to me may be important, but as I said, let's set that aside because that is something that may be in another forum, unless of course government is telling us that the reason for this initiative is not only as a revenue measure, but also as a health measure, but it's not the proper forum for that. Now, on the matter of how it will affect all the concerned sectors. Mr. Chairman, I have been listening to the Secretary of Finance assuring us that these items are not that price sensitive. Well, I am not very sure about that. My experience as far as alcoholic beverages are concerned is that it is price sensitive to a certain extent. Any increase will be followed by a corresponding decrease in consumption. Of course, another reason for sensitivity would be the economic condition in an area. For example, in the coconut producing areas, pag mababa ang production doon, mababa ang income doon, bumababa din ang consumption na ng beer, then they go to the cheaper kind of alcohol. Pag mahina ang fish production because of the weather, then again, bumabagsak yung consumption of beer. So that is something that is highly debatable, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman. I don't know about cigarettes. So what's going to happen here, and I'm a little concerned that while we are debating this, we are not being given hard figures. In a matter like this, I think we should be dealing with hard figures instead of a simple general statement that it will not be price sensitive, there will be a decline. Because what's going to happen is that in the case of the government, with an increase in the tax rate, it would take a lot of decline for them to worry about a decline in revenue. So they're not that sensitive because pag tinaasan niyo yung revenue, pag bumaba ng konti yung consumption, let's say of cigarettes, it would take a long while before they can feel the reduction in revenue. If the revenue rate, Mr. Chairman, is doubled, for example, and here we're looking at not just double, but probably even quadruple. So they are not that sensitive. Sila ang hindi sensitive because they're not worried about any decline in revenue in the meantime. But in the case of the manufacturers, if the product is price sensitive, they will immediately feel the impact of any reduction. Because any absolute reduction will mean a reduction in their profit. And then this is going to be passed on to the farmers. Because any reduction in production will mean a reduction in the production of the inputs. So the farmers are going to directly be affected. That's why we have to be very careful about this. That's why we have to deal with figures, and probably we should ask our Secretary of Finance, and probably not just the Secretary of Finance, but probably NEDA, to give us their projection here on the consumption itself, not just the revenue, but on the consumption itself. And we have to hold them by those figures, Mr. Chairman. As I said, let us remove first the health factor here and concentrate on the three aspects: the effect on government revenue, the effect on the manufacturers, and then finally the effect on the farmers. Because andun yung, si Chairman, the consequences are going to be felt by these three very big major stakeholders. And I would like to reiterate that in the case of the government, if there's going to be a very major increase in revenue, in the tax rate, it will take them a long while to feel the effect of the declining revenue. Whereas in the case of the manufacturers, in case of the farmers, the effect is going to be immediate. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can we ask the Department of Finance if you have a track record on the volume of removals every time we increase taxes on tobacco and alcohol products? From the time I was chairman of the Ways and Means in 1992 until 1998. Then after that, what's the impact of the digitized volume right after? Do you have data on that?
Yes, sir. We have
Mr. Chairman, may I just interject that probably in the next hearing, I don't know if they're here, we should also listen to the representatives of the government as far as the tobacco industry is concerned. I mean, the farmers are concerned, and also the sugar industry from the government. If they're here, thank you.
I just want to, because the farmers are here, I didn't want to waste your time. They can't came here from the locals, the other tobacco producing regions. So may we hear from Mr. Andy Reyes, the President of the Philippine Association of Tobacco-Based Corporation. Mr. Andy Reyes,
magandang hapon po, Ginoong Tagapagsalita.
you are recognized.
Sa mga maginoong mga mabagas at magiging kamihin ng pananalpi, mga si Administrator Adorno dito sa Encarnacion, dito po sa National Tobacco Administration, at yung mga kasama namin mga magsasaka na galing sa Abra, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Tarlac. Ako po si Andy Reyes, Pangulo ng Philippine Association of Tobacco-Based Cooperatives, umbrella organization ng mga magsasaka ng tatanim ng tobacco. Tatlong klase po ang tinatanim ng tobacco: Virginia, Burley, at Native. Bago ko po